breeze blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the page life is about to appear. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, and if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Well, there'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend Mike, he's your man. And he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here at Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide.
And what's up? It's 7 o'clock, 5 o'clock somewhere. Little special evening daily brew here tonight. So welcome everybody. We got our timer down. I am producer, director, chief operations. Coming to you live from the ABC Fine Wine and Spirits studio here in Oldsmar, Florida. Talking tropics. So good evening everybody. Hope you're doing well. I know there's a lot of worried folks out there about this Ida. Ida was named Tropical Depression number 9, aka Invest 99, now Ida. Ida is going to be making headlines soon, unfortunately. So, we'll let everybody check in. It takes a little while for everybody to log in. So, good evening. Hope you're having a great night. The girls took off to softball practice. We had a bunch of lightning here in Eastlake, so they're sitting in their car right now under a lightning delay. So, it's just me and Sarah and the dogs. We'll show the dogs in the morning. We usually do that in the morning. Sandy, 1.1 million now. That's right. We are strong. What's up, Teresa, Vivian, John, Texas, Dream Girl, Jeff? We got our buddy Ferguson down in the Cayman Islands getting tropical storm right now. Track's always subject to change. Telford, they always say that. This is the first time I ever heard them say that the track is better than usual as far as certainty. Usually it says day 4 or 5, more uncertainty than normal. This one is actually saying more certainty than normal. Yes, Matt, definitely. Our thoughts and prayers are definitely with the military tonight. And I got the news on in the background, keeping up with everything. But the only news we're going to talk about right now is weather. So, but that is was a very sad afternoon for sure. All right, so here we go. We're just a weather blogging site, nothing official. I'll probably ramble on about an hour. We're going to go into all the weather scenarios, all the different possibilities, what we got brewing. We got a lot of official stuff I'll show. We have some modeling we'll show. We're also streaming live over there on YouTube. So welcome, YouTubers. And appreciate you coming along. What's up? Ida, I don't know the track. I think we know the track. Let's let's take a look at Ida real quick. This is satellite on the College of DuPage. What's up there, Greg? I was showing off your cord today. Late to the party anyway. Just started. Jennifer, yeah, I need a break. So we'll be live tomorrow morning. We'll be live Saturday morning. Probably not Saturday night. We're already going to know where this thing's going by Saturday night. We'll do a live tomorrow night. So we'll do a live tomorrow morning. We'll do one tomorrow night. We'll do one Saturday morning. And then by Saturday night, we should really know where this is heading. This is a satellite look as the sun goes down. We definitely see spinach coming together. Hurricane hunters are out there right now. Lots of rain in Jamaica. Several inches, over 15 inches, I think I read in spots. So Jamaica getting it. Cayman Islands are next. But definitely, getting a lot of convection here tonight, firing away. Hurricane hunters are out there right now, finding an organizing system. Once these centers stack, they're worried about possible rapid intensification, maybe even quicker than they thought. So definitely the NHC is using that word a lot, rapid intensification. So it seems very likely that we're going to be dealing with a pretty strong hurricane, borderline major Sunday. All right, our buddy on Zoom Earth. I hate to bring back bad memories, but this was just August 26, 2020, Laura, last year. So, unfortunately, we got a lot of flashbacks going back to Laura. Laura's 1 year ago, basically. And that was our bad storm of last year that we hope doesn't happen again. Pressure was down to 948. So, we're kind of in that same window here. Potentially major hurricane bearing down Louisiana once again, unfortunately. Zoom Earth, by the way, I got a link up here, number 7. Number 7, Jack Daniels number 7, and then I also got it down here in the bottom, Zoom Earth. You can pull up the current look here. It's really cool. And you can turn the satellite on, you can turn the satellite off, you can do all kinds of fun stuff with this map here. You can click on a data point, and there's the official forecast. 2 p.m. Sunday, nearing landfall, 110 miles an hour. That's the last official 5 o'clock advisory. And that is just west of New Orleans. So we're gonna get little wiggles, we're gonna get little wobbles. I want to show you spaghetti models. I want to show you all the operational runs. Hurricane Hunter data, they're out there right now flying around. The pressure's dropping a little bit. We're starting to see some pressure drops, and we just saw some of that last minute convection exploding. Jaden, yes, so the mid-level is definitely not as stacked as the lower level, but man, it's getting close, and when that happens, we get intensification pretty quick. The Sierra map, now I added a whole bunch of links. I feel like I'm talking about Fred all over again, but everything that you could possibly want is this column right there. And I have all kinds of links. We have a winds gust map. Everybody always wants to know about their individual area, right? So this NWS winds gusts waves map does that. You can zoom right into your particular area. You can fast forward, and let's go to Sunday. Watch it populate here. Takes a second to load, but it's a tool put out by the National Weather Service, and it gives you a rough idea of what you can expect. And there you go. And you can change things like rain, everything, wind speed, cover, all that good stuff. But everybody always wants to know about their particular site. So you got a slider bar here. You can do that. I also added wind analysis maps. A lot of people like to look at these. These are satellite imageries of the storm right now currently. So it's good data. You can kind of get an idea of what's going on the core of the system with satellite data. Also added the Sierra map right here. That's what I want to show you right here. Sierra. So Sierra map is this one right here. And it is not 100%, but it gives you an idea of storm surge. We don't have any storm surge warnings or watches yet. But Sierra goes out based on the NHC track, and we're starting to see surge values get put in. So it's not official, But obviously, we talk about the east side all the time. The east side gets the big surge as the winds push in water as it comes north. So, these areas, I mean, we know change. It'll change at the 11 o'clock advisory. This one adjusts with the NHC advisory. So very important to know on that. I got the GOES floater now on Ida. You want to take a look. They have a designated satellite now on Ida. So you can click on that now. Take a look at that. Somebody asked me during Fred, where was it at? Well, there you go. GOES floater. Microwave imagery isn't live yet. I don't think, not yet. But the advanced Dvorak numbers are now live. That's kind of a estimated pressure now, 1,004. Here's the Hurricane Hunter data on tropical tidbits. They're flying around, obviously finding the strongest winds to the east and the north. And they'll be in there all night watching this pressure drop a little bit. Pressure drop means higher wind speeds. All right, so let's look at spaghetti models real quick. Show you what we got. Now, hey, what's up, Whitney? I don't think he's there. Jason Sutton, oh my God, you got both Furman people here. Oh my God. Goyo, yeah, we're going to talk about the next system that could be brewing for Labor Day weekend. Well, I'll tell you that real quick at the end. But so I see a lot of people asking about your specific areas. Listen, we're seeing high pressure strong over Florida. I don't recall seeing spaghetti models this clustered 2 days out. So we have high confidence at this point. All these models are reading the same, atmospheric conditions with high pressures, and they are very locked. You get a track here, we're still going to have nasty weather coming in towards the Florida Panhandle. And they even mentioned that in the NHC discussion. Even the Florida Panhandle, obviously Mississippi. You can see surge. East side of the systems are always the ones, everybody focused on Katrina was New Orleans, but man, folks in Mississippi, they got really bad surge because of that east side push. But these are your models, pretty tightly clustered. Very surprised we don't have any stray models. All right, let's look at the ensembles real quick. Ensembles are great because we're starting to see them even start to agree more. Here's your latest Euros. These are on weathernerds.org, and the majority of them are definitely clustered, obviously, right there. So we got a few outliers on the tightening up that cone just a little bit, and now Texas. Well, technically it is, I guess, North Texas, not coastal Texas. But hey, they're pretty confident on this track. We're not. They're not. That's pretty tight. 3-day tracks, very confident. Big confusion, though, is this cone. I'm telling you, I got a very good video to watch on my site up here. Look, cone question mark right there. I've had it up there for 2 years now. When you click on it, it is the National Weather Service.
NHC forecast.
And they tell you
I use the cone to get
everything about the cone. It's a 3-minute video.
Storm window.
Great information about the
National
cone.
Hurricane Center forecast.
That's important stuff because, we do get a center track shift. Let's say it shifts a little bit. Our system's 400 miles wide. This morning we measured it. You're going to see effects into the Panhandle, into Mississippi, and into Alabama. So don't focus on that. I mean, everybody's like, what am I going to get? What am I going to get? What am I going to get? Well, you're going to get tropical storm warnings, likely. I mean, if I had to guess right now, we're going to see tropical storm warnings possibly there. We could see hurricane warnings extend outside the cone. So don't get too wrapped up in that cone. The hurricane warnings could extend out past the cone. And they said by tonight we might get watches and warnings. Landfall is expected 2 p.m. on Sunday. That means we're going to start seeing outer bands as early as Saturday night. Another good graphic really wakes everybody up, I think, is this one. These are the earliest times that you might see tropical storm force winds. Now, the reason some people confuse this with the cone. I think they need to do a little something different because people think that's the cone. It's not the cone. Those are places that you might see tropical storm force winds. And the reason being, we get a system this big out here. We could see some squall lines, inch their way to the Florida Big Bend area along the west coast. So this map is good. It tells you Saturday, 8 p.m., we could start to see squall lines reaching the Gulf and have tropical storm force winds. So if you got a boat, if you got an RV, you're putting your stuff away, you should have everything prepped well before Saturday night. Because Saturday night, we can start getting rain bands. You can start getting tropical storm force winds. So just because you see that 2 p.m. Sunday landfall, Saturday 8 p.m. you can start to get tropical storm force squall lines, feeder bands. So very important to understand that. This too many people I think focus on this. 2 p.m. Sunday, yeah, but you can also get storms Saturday night. So that kind of it speeds up the prep time. You can't just say, I'm going to do it Sunday morning because the storm's going to be coming on your butt Sunday morning. But they're figuring 110 mile an hour winds. And listen, we're going to have hurricane winds well inland too. I'm going to show you some models. If this thing's 110, 115, 120 mile an hour, if you're new to hurricanes, there's so much focus put on the coast that we're going to see hurricane force winds well inland that you're going to have to watch out for. So these things just don't weaken like a snap of a finger. So if you're in that track, don't focus on landfall. We got serious flooding threat coming. I'm going to show you some of that modeling. Lots of models predicting 12 inches plus along the Gulf Coast. All right, so let's look at the individual models. Let's see, the latest GFS just came out, so let's take a look at that. So we're going to go to Tropical Tidbits. I haven't even looked at it yet. 18Z, we're going to take a look at the 18Z GFS. Take a look, see what we got. 18Z, 975 Saturday, 967, 958. So there it is. Not much change on the GFS. I don't think I can zoom in any closer than that. But so, 956. That's borderline, major hurricane right there. And that's Sunday morning. It's approaching landfall. Not a big change. Notice these rain bands stretching out. We could get squall lines. That's why the NHC is showing that wind map wide, because this system's going to be pretty wide, and we're going to see squall lines making their way into possibly the Florida West Coast, but not as hurricane. Just rain. So not a big shift with the GFS. Let's take a look at the latest Canadian. This was a 12Z, almost smack dab the same spot. I showed that earlier today. The latest Icon did come out. Let's take a look at that one. It's a little bit more to the central Louisiana, but it's also around 970 millibar. I don't think the Icon and CMC are very good intensity models. They're more really good on track. But again, Louisiana, a little bit later, a little slower. This one's more late Sunday night. We can take a look at the H-Wharf. As you guys know, the H-Wharf is very aggressive most of the time. It's running right now, so we'll have to come back to it. The 18Z is running right now. It's 978, though. There's New Orleans, or tip of Louisiana, so it's probably going to intensify. The 12Z went down to 942. And there's Louisiana, so... Other models, we got the Euro. We'll go into that a little deeper. Here's a 973 Central. So, I mean, man, we're getting to the point where we're pretty confident. Eric, what's up, Eric? What's up, Tammy Harvick? There's very, very little speculation right now. The NHC, which I was kind of surprised about, they mentioned our loop eddy. So I felt cool. I'm like, yeah, we've been talking about the loop eddy. So this is what they say. Once the system moves over the Gulf, it will be transversing a warm eddy. That's our loop eddy we've been talking a lot about. This feature, combined with a favorable upper level winds and moist atmosphere. I feel like a time traveler, man. Moist atmosphere. We talk about moist. Everybody hates the word moist. But they're talking about rapid intensification possible Saturday. So unfortunately, we're going to have to watch this close. That's I'm not surprised. Cat 3. I think it all depends what it does now, because the tidbit I always tell everybody: Paul's got 2 cases of beer. That's only going to get you through one night, buddy. You got it backwards. You need 2 gallons of gas and 40 cases of beer. Hey, thanks, Matt Martin. Appreciate it. Robin loves the word moist. Julie doesn't like it. Yeah, we'll talk about what's coming the night. Greg's laughing. You guys are funny. So anyway, moist, light wind, everything I posted, this morning. Did a little rundown this morning. Let's pull it up. Kind of show you what it looked like. I might have to pull it up. Oh, it's still coming up. Let's see here. Hang on. I post a lot during the day. Here you go. This is it right here. This is it. So this is what we posted this morning. That's got everything in a nutshell without me having to go look for it again. So OHC is ocean heat content. I love it. Talking about it. Ocean heat content is your how deep the water goes hot. Sunday storm chasing. Angela, I don't know if the high is breaking down. Hey, thanks. Is it Renonan? Renonan? How about Miss Bice? Thank you. Hey, Katie Haley, what's up? I might be coming your neck of the woods. Jesse, I'm not. Come on. Never ever. The high pressure system, I don't know. We'll look into that more. I don't see that high pressure system breaking down. It's got way too many model support. You would have one ensemble showing. I live and die by the models, and when we see models not agreeing, then you can start making kind of crazy predictions, because you're seeing what they're seeing, and you're like, hey, maybe there's. But man, we're not seeing that. So I'm fairly confident models could bite us in the butt. But at this stage in the game, 3 days out, they're pretty locked in. So I don't know if there's a lot of Florida folks that follow tropics, and all you got to do is say this thing's turning east into Florida, and oh my God, your page blows up. But I'm not going to do that because I don't believe it. And I do think I'm chasing. Me and Julie are having a little marital issue right now. She's very upset with me because she doesn't want me to go. Long story short. All right, so what do we got cooking? So we got really hot water. The fascination with that OHC is amazing. It's how hot the water is below the sea surface temperature. Or sea surface. The hotter the water goes down deep, the more it can pull up. Because thunderstorms actually, tropical systems, tropical low pressures feed off of water. Warm water feeds low pressure systems. And the warmer that water is, and the deeper that warm water is, the more a storm can intensify. The shear forecast expected to be extremely favorable for development. No long range weather systems coming that look like it's going to inhibit development. So they're worried about a light shear environment. We have no dust in the air. We have a very moist atmosphere, and those three things. And then here's that loop eddy that they talk about. And the loop eddy is fascinating. a lot of studies on this loop eddy showing how tropical systems have intensified over these loop eddies. And the loop eddies actually, unfortunately, usually they're just little circles, you know, like a little loop eddy like this sometimes, and they'll hit it on their way up. But this one is huge. Our system's going to be going right over top of this long loop current, and that's they mention that in the NHC discussion. They know this could provide rapid intensification along with everything else. So that's why they're putting that word out, possibility of a major hurricane. You know, going back to the high pressure system, I don't know. I just don't see it. You know, originally the high pressure was supposed to be strong, and, you know, it's pivoting around, and our system's riding it as they do. That's not a very good drawing, but you know, originally about 4 or 5 days ago, this high pressure was supposed to be a little bit deeper and do that. Well, the high pressure has receded a little bit, but you got to remember what time of the year we are. We're talking about storms, Harvey, you know, Laura, Katrina's coming up. All these storms, you know, historically, atmospherically, high pressure systems usually rule this time of year, and you know, we're not seeing it. So that's pretty good. I mean, this is the orange is high pressure, and we just got a really big block, and you know, no models are really showing it breaking down. There's a GFS, there's a Euro. You know, when we were, you know, spotting trends on other systems, like when we were watching Irma and even Henri and stuff, we saw trending with models, but we're not seeing that high pressure. So I at this point, I don't think that's something to stress about. I think the models are locked in like I've never really seen. So, you know, I think, you know, you definitely got to prepare that area right there. There you go. Oh God, is somebody, what the hell, we'd lose? Did we have a spammer? What was that all about? Did I miss it? Jeez, what were they talking about? What I don't understand is how could a chat in a live video really get somebody that fired up? I don't get it. There's a million weather sites on the internet. Man, if something stresses you out, for every one we lose, we gain. So that's all right. Waba West. Well, it's your definition of West. I mean, you know, I don't think we're good. This is riding that high pressure system. It would take that high pressure to build in more. I just don't see it. I had a good friend of mine worried about going to Houston, and I texted him this morning. I didn't want to text him. See if I can show you the text without showing you who. Let's see here. Well, I can tell you his name was Blake. If you're listening, Blake. Well, anyway, he was coming to Houston, and I texted him at 10:40. And I said, hey, Blake, missed your call. You look in the clear if I had to make the call now. So I don't think we're going to see any trends that way. So, oh, boys. All right. Jason and Greg, you guys are in trouble. So anyway, you know, God, what can we say? This is you know, this is a pretty big deal. If you read the wording here, you know, increase. You know, you don't like to see words like this, but increasing risk of life-threatening storm surge, damaging hurricane force winds, heavy rainfall, especially along the coast of Louisiana. The rain forecast. Let's look at the latest rain forecast, because that's a big story. Lots of rain has been falling in those areas this season. So that means we're going to have power problems galore. Here's the latest. At least the GFS backed off a little bit, but still 12 inches plus, 14 max. But anything purple is 12 inches plus, and that stretches into Mississippi. White's around 8 inches, 9 inches. Lighter purple's like 9 inches. Dark purple's 12 inches. Latest Euro. I think I posted this one. Well, we got the 6Z we can look at. Let's see. Latest Euro. A tick west with the big rain. But again, we got pockets of 12 inches up inland quite a bit. Another thing the Euro will do we can look at really quick is maximum winds. This is kind of cool. It's a good graphic. We can bring it up bigger a little bit. These are knots. But it gives you an idea, you know, let's a little bit. So this is the Euro thinking, obviously. And, you know, anything white is inching up to 100 knots, 85, 90. So 85, 90 knots through Louisiana there. That's borderline 100. But see, the winds can definitely stretch inland quite a bit. So that's where we talk about power outages well inland of a landfall. Oh, let's see. Hurricane party. I'm there, man. What else we got? So listen, bottom line from this morning, all we've gotten is more confidence that we're having something develop, unfortunately, for the upper Gulf. We're seeing official wording from the NHC talking about storm surge, rainfall, and winds. So that, you know, it's happening. There's the speculations are getting smaller and smaller as far as where this is going. I mean, unless the storm completely develops a new center, but they don't really do that. The NHC cone depicts that too. So the 850 and 500s definitely displaced a little bit. 700s are in the middle somewhere right there. So definitely, you know, not 100% stacked. But that's what they're worried about. Once this thing becomes stacked, then it'll definitely just develop quick is what they're worried about. So we have strong surface winds here, circulation starting definitely in the middle levels, but a little bit of displacement, not much. But the fear is once it does, it could definitely start to intensify fast because there's very little, there's a lot of hot water, very light shear. See, we're in a little pocket right here of light shear, a little bit of shear ahead. I think it's expected to die down a little bit though. The shear map here, you know, I guess there's a little bit of shear down there. Not a lot. It's got an anticyclone developing over it though. So the upper level winds are becoming a little more favorable overall. Your steering map, great imagery here showing you strong high pressure across Florida. Ultimately this slides this way and our system does a little wiggle and then it reacts to this and goes on out of here. So it could appear like it's going north, but this high pressure is going to kick it before this one slides over. That's the current thinking. That's why we see a little bump here with some of these models reacting to that little tug to the north, and then a little bend, and then back around. So that's seems very likely. Another storm brewing. Everybody wants to know what's next. You can't just go to Back to the Future 2 without watching 1. You just can't do that. Well, we'll talk about everything. We'll talk about what's next. We got a lot of things. So we do have Invest 99 or 8 and 7. And they're both red tonight. There you go. This is 70%. This is 70%. I'm going to run out of web space for these guys. But so far, this one's shooting off. Maybe the Azores. This is got the models up. I went ahead and put Levi's on there. And it's going to do an eventual turn. So no biggies on those two, it appears. Definitely the Azores, though, are going to be dealing with maybe 2 systems. I know we got people in the Azores watching, right? Storm getting bigger. Hey, let's take a look. What storm's going to hit Labor Day? Well, first off, I don't have the link, but we had some fine folks up in the Upper Gulf region reach out at local Chamber of Commerce. I'll share that. But they got us hooked up with a beach house. And you know where it's at? Mexico Beach. The house that I'm staying at next weekend for Labor Day has a story behind it. It was damaged by Hurricane Michael. And it was rebuilt. And I'm going to meet the crew that came in the day after Michael made landfall that started rebuilding Mexico Beach. So it's kind of fate that's where we're going to stay. So we gained a lot of fans in the Mexico Beach area, Panama City. We're going to announce where we're going to hang out. Probably Scallops Cove because they were really nice. So we're going to hook it, unless we get a storm. I am going hell or high water. We are not canceling. We canceled Daytona because I knew this was going to happen. No internet at Daytona. I wouldn't be able to do anything I've done. And I'd be coming home right now, pissed off, knowing that Daytona changed the damn dates of the race in the middle of hurricane season. What the hell are they thinking? All right, let's rewind. Let's go to what's next real quick because I got a lot of folk talking about that. What would be the easiest way to show you that? Well, we can just look at the models again, I guess. We'll show you what the CMC did earlier because this has been the most common theme of what's coming possibly Labor Day weekend. So shared this a bunch 4 or 5 days ago. The models started picking up on this. Lowering pressures down here, middle next week. And that's Ida. But middle next week, a little bit of model support continues that we could see a little something pop up down here. Now this is next Tuesday, Wednesday, next week. And the CMC developed it. And that would be Labor Day weekend. Okay, I got to tell you that we're not all in on model support yet. So this is highly speculative right now, but I shared it earlier. The afternoon GFS showed it too. And it was a little stronger, 979, but it actually had it. We don't want that. I'm not even going to show you that. That's Labor Day weekend. Important thing to note is midweek next week, we could have a little low pressure system down here. So that's the GFS and the CMC showed it earlier. The 18Z I don't think showed it. That's well, there it is right there. But it's weak. So that general area, there's just not enough support to start creating landfall predictions on something that not even being picked up by a lot of models. So, I'll be here somewhere. And if that storm makes a beeline, guess what? I'm going to be there. I am not leaving. Some other models, didn't really show it. The Icon, the 18Z doesn't go out that far yet. The a little bit. It had a little signs of low pressure trying to develop, but Euro maybe a little bit. So, like I said, it's not enough to throw any worry out there. Just know that we've seen lowering pressures right there. And if we go to the ensembles, we'll just stick on Levi's site. But this general area right here, you can see quite, not a lot of ensembles, but enough. This is midweek, showing a few, kind of saying, okay, we get a couple, we could have something pull north. So that's all. So there's, very just casually watching that one, but seems like it's been showed up for like a week now. Let's look at the 12Z probability map on the Euro, and it kind of showed it a little bit too for the Caribbean going out. So there's middle next week. That's leftover Ida, obviously. Yeah, and there's a little bit of support on this is next Thursday, Friday. It's a little bit of Euro support, not a lot. So no worries on that right now. Let's see what we got here on the long range GFS. And it's still running. Oh, there's a few right there. So there you go. I mean, there's Sunday, Labor Day weekend. There's a handful right here. So these are ensembles. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I'll pull my Forrest Gump quote. We did have Middle Atlantic wave action here. Let's go out 10 days. Here it is. This is the one that keeps popping up 10 days out. Don't you start barking, tough guy. So it does look like, we're going to see some waves off of Africa. Whether or not they come across, it's so hard to know right now. But, same time frame. This is Labor Day weekend. Question mark here and here. This is the two spots. Fast forward to next weekend, we could have a little low pressure in the middle Gulf and a wave coming across that's been showing up quite a bit. So there you go. That's what's next. There's there's no confidence to freak out about for Labor Day. So things are still on like Donkey Kong. There's a hurricane hunter still finding little wiggles here. They're having a hard time. Their pressure is staying down in 1006. All right, so what's new? All right, let me see what you guys are saying. We've rambled on a lot. Oh man, you had this fish tank crash. What's a 20L? Might be chasing on vacation, Michael Faulkner. Yep. Let's see. What's up, Mike? Morning person here. Hey, Jason Glover. I know you, buddy. We do these little nighttime ones sometimes. I'm not gonna do a supporter video. We do those a lot when we don't do a nighttime one, but that's all the same stuff. So. This will be our special little extra. Big storm supplying the weekend. Timothy Weaver, yeah. We will. Maybe I'll take my keg. Well, we're only going to be there 3 days. I can't drink too much. But we'll need some suggestions. So, hey, if anybody got any cool stuff for kids, make sure you message maybe Shelly or email me. I got the email link on the site. Yeah, we're going to measure the size of this thing too. Okay. So let's take a lookie. This storm's odd to me because there's so much model support that we normally speculate a lot more and talk about what ifs. I feel like we don't have a lot of what ifs. I guess the biggest what if is what if it organizes quicker than thought. That's not good. No models showing this thing weakening before landfall. That's not good. So if this thing surprises us and strengthens quicker, then that could be trouble down the road. I will say, you know I mentioned it, you guys that come in here a lot, but all 4 Category 5 hurricanes that struck the U.S. were tropical storms 3 days out. So there's something about these rapid intensifying hurricanes prior to landfall that we don't want to see. It's hard for systems to maintain major hurricane status. They go through eye wall replacements, and usually the upwelling of cooler waters kind of chokes them off. But with this one, we got that very long eddy current. So that's what I think they're just probably a little worried. So let's see how big it is. That's 350. That's 350. 350. It's kind of a little sloppy tonight. That's 400. So it's the same as this morning. You could pretty arguably say it's about 350 to 400 wide. So let's see on the. Where did you go? Let's try it again. It's gone. We lost it. We lost satellite. Houston, we have a problem. Satellite's down. Okay, we'll try it again. We'll try the nighttime. Late night. All right, there we go. Let's do this measurement. Could get a little more better idea. So there's 350, 400. So I'd say about 350. 350 wide. There's 350 right there. So there you go. Houston, doesn't look like you're going to get much. Travis, you're right. It's going to be a busy day tomorrow. We're going to see overnight tonight, hurricane hunters are going to be going in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Like that one song. In and out and in and out. And we'll see that pressure drop. You're going to, if you see pressure dropping, that means the storm's intensifying. You start to see convection blowing up over center, then we got to strengthen the system. Most models are not predicting this thing to strengthen until it shoots the gap. The latest GFS does, though. It's initializing it at 1,003, I think, and then it really gets it going to 980 over Cuba. The Euro is only expecting 1,002 near in Cuba. 1,001. This is where some history you learn from past. First data in, data out. You put bad data in a system. It's very important where a model run initializes that. So when the hurricane hunters put their data in, which will be into tonight's 00Z run, so we'll have midnight model runs at the 00Z models. They'll be getting all this fresh data from the hurricane hunters and big time help. But if our system's obviously lower here, then it'll be lower here and then lower there. So the big question is, how fast is it going to strengthen in the next 24 hours? Because that's going to influence if we have the possibility of a major hurricane or not. Right now they're showing 110 mile an hour. Remember, 115 mile an hour is the cutoff. So they're only 5 miles an hour shy of 1 mile an hour shy, actually. They're 1 mile an hour shy. I forgot about that. It's 111, actually. I was thinking 115. But anyway, there's a chart. So right now they're showing a Category 2, 110 mile an hour. Storm surge up to 8 feet. We jump up to Category 3. If we get the 115 mile an hour range upwards, we could be looking at 9 to 12 foot surge. And the HWARF's predicting 930 range storm. So, Tasha, you'll start seeing effects. Where are you at? you're going to look at the all-important model here we showed you, wherever you live at. This guy right here. This is a great map. This is the earliest you could possibly start feeling tropical storm force winds. So if you're along the upper Gulf Coast, you can start seeing tropical storm force winds Saturday night. Jones City, that's a good question. Probably not. We've seen that in the years past. What was it, Jose? Was it Jose that followed Irma? Or no, Jose followed Maria, maybe? I can't remember. But we've seen that in the past. I think the loop eddy's going to bring the warm water back quick. It'll cool the water a little bit, but not a lot. Remember when Dorian parked over the Bahamas? It took a long time for it to weaken, and it didn't have near the ocean heat content that we see in the Caribbean. But the reason is it's shallower water over the Bahamas, and we had warmer ocean heat content. It was able to keep pulling this warm water up, and it, finally started weakening. It took forever. Chris, the storm's going northwest right now. If the high pressure weakened, it would be going towards the Florida Panhandle, but I don't see any. No models are showing that. So I think that would be a teeny weeny chance. Everybody's worried about the east shift. I'm telling you, you got to live and die by the spaghetti models. I know there's panic about Florida for some reason. I guess must be threads online talking about high pressure weakening, but we would see the models. First off, in order for a high pressure to break down, we would have to have a front coming in or something, right? Look, we have nothing. There's no front coming the next 3 days. So, if we had a front coming, I would say there's a chance this thing's going to get pulled up and turn more, right? But we don't have a front coming. High pressure is locked in. We don't have any weakness coming in the ridge. There's no front coming. So, I've seen that brought up a bazillion times a day. But no, I firmly believe we're locked in. So, ultimately, there is a front coming in on Monday that picks it up and brings it on out of here. But that's down the road. And why won't it stall right now? Well, these high pressure systems spin a lot of wind, and let's see if I can find a good one here. That's more 850 winds. Well, I'll just show you the old school steering chart. But these high pressure systems, high pressure systems flow counterclockwise or clockwise. And they accelerate our systems. And when you have a system riding, the eastern edge of a high pressure system, they accelerate 12, 15 miles an hour. It's normal. There's no blocking high that's going to stop our system. It will take a second to react a little bit before this front comes and turns, but it's not going to stop. There was that one GFS run the other day that showed it stopping, but that was one out of a bazillion. That's why you can't jump all in. But, this high pressure seems very confident. It's sliding out. This one's going to be locked in place. Our system's going to be riding the outside edge of it, and that's it. I'm telling you, that's the story. Cheryl, I think there's a very low chance of Texas. Very low chance. Again, it's going to be riding this. There's nothing pushing it unless the high pressure built more, maybe. But no, the NHC cone shrunk now. The NHC cone at 11 included Texas. At 5 o'clock did not include Texas. You know, I mean, you could say there's some ensembles that are pointing to Texas. So, I mean, yeah, I would never turn my back on never say never. You know, there are a few Lone Ranger Euros. There's a couple. But the majority of them, you know, you got to go with averages. I mean, and these are spreading out wide down here. Probably depicting a stronger high pressure building in. But so yeah, I mean, all right, there's still a chance for Texas, but it's dwindling. Here's a GFS. Remember, the Euro hasn't been the best this year, but there's the latest GFS ensembles. I think these are 18Z. Yes, these just came out. So there's your 18Z GFS on Weather Nerds, and look, I'm telling you, pretty clear. This sucker's going to Louisiana. But again, don't forget the east side. East side, you're going to get a lot of action. I would guess we'll have hurricane warnings, you know, possibly Mississippi, Alabama line, and tropical storm warnings maybe right there. That's because of that. And that would be... So let's look at the H-Wharf rain model site. This is cool. We can take a look at some of these outer bands approaching. Get an idea. So here is Saturday evening, overnight. So even Saturday night, you know, we could start seeing that. That's why the NHC is saying, look, Saturday night. See that? Go back to the NHC timing map and look. They're including Florida, not because of you're not in the cone in the hurricane. They're letting you know you could see some squall lines, feeder bands, as early as Saturday night. But as we get into Sunday morning, you know, we start to get the big bands starting to really roll in Sunday. Look at that sucker fanning out, man. Just in comparison, look at the size on the east side compared to the west side. It's always the case. You know, dry air coming in around the top side, and all this moist air here is able to develop. That's why we have the highest surge over here. Very little surge on the west side, other than the initial push of water. Yeah, we can get some feeder bands in Tampa, Robin, for sure. Everybody sends stars. Isa-iya! That was funny. The great shrimp injury of 2020. I bet you I still got ant bites. Oh, let me see. So, when I got out of the truck, I had a big old one. I think it finally popped. When I jumped out of the truck for Fred, I landed right into one of them floating freaking cruise ships. The ants were like on a freaking palm leaf, and there was 1,000 fire ants on my feet. And chucked the flip-flops. So when you saw that picture of me and the Fish and Wildlife officer, I had no shoes on because mine were being attacked by fire ants. Don't forget to now, listen, tornadoes are going to be always something that surprise people. So we'll likely have tornado watches up. Possibly Saturday night going into Sunday. I mean, we could have overnight Saturday night. We could have overnight bands start to come up. So tornadoes are always a big threat. Surge is going to be, category 2, category 3. I have a high tide map on my site. We could take a look at that. Coastal risk. Here's tide info. Let's take a look at tides across the New Orleans area. I would assume, let's look at Morgan City here. So we are going to be looking at 8:29 around morning time. So let's go for today. 8:29. Oh, this is going to be a low tide already. Look at that. That's good news. Huh. So we're in a lower tide than normal. So there's 8 a.m. It's going to still be below normal. So that's not a high tide. It's going to be mean tide, it looks like. That's interesting. Let's see some other areas here we can take a look at. Let's look at Shell Beach. Shell Beach, 8:29. Uh-oh. Doesn't go that far out. Well, that was a bust. All right, we'll do one more time. Let's look at Lake Pontchartrain. We'll see what they got. New Canal Station. Let's look at that. And we will look at Sunday morning. High tide around noon, 1 foot above normal. Not a lot of tide swing, but see, I'm not familiar with these areas. Remember we were talking about Long Island last week? There was an 8-foot tide swing, and the local said that's normal. So I don't know. Maybe tides won't make a difference. Remember, add a foot to storm surge at noon, and we could have, instead of 8 foot, you'd have 9 foot. So, hey, Linda, thank you very much. Linda, did you give me this donkey? I meant to ask you. Who gave me this donkey? Somebody gave me this donkey. Shelly, I don't remember who gave me that donkey, but I keep him right on my monitor looking at me. He's looking right at me. My little guy. My little donkey. Could this turn towards Florida, Ron? Which part of Florida? Panhandle, Peninsula? No. Cheryl, so here's the plan. If I could sweet talk my wife. Taco Tuesday, what are you doing? John, you guys are getting ready for Taco Tuesday tomorrow. You guys are getting ready for Storm. Somebody's here. Oh, I can't talk about her now. It's Julie's home. Julie, hi. I was telling everybody how
amazing
sweet you are, and we were talking about this storm trip, and she was asking me what I wanted for.
He's not going.
She was going to make
He's not going.
She's going to make me sandwiches.
He's not going.
She's going to make me bologna and cheese.
He's going to have to sit this one out.
Bologna and cheese.
Sit this one out. Sitting this one out.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Steven. It looks like it's going a little bit to your east of Lake Charles, which is good news. Let's zoom in a little bit with the latest NHC and take a look. See what we got. Show you guys the exact track thinking so far. So there's the NHC track. Now, it's a pretty tight little track for the NHC. Let's leave that up there for you now, right now. But luckily for Lake Charles, they don't need any more storms. And I got a great gift coming.
No. The answer is no. Not for this one.
Why? What's the difference? Why? I feel like I'm asking my mom and dad if I can go out with my friends. Kayla, it's about 350 miles wide. But there's your latest cone, and it's shrinking. 11 o'clock advisory. We had Texas in it. Now we don't. So what are we going to see at 11? I don't think we're going to see. I don't know. I don't think we're going to see much. We got a new 8 o'clock fix, so let's take a look at that. Oh, see, it did wiggle a little bit. So I don't think there's going to be much change. So the 8 o'clock did come in a little bit to the west. I don't know. So with the 8 o'clock fix, I don't think we'll see any shifts. I think it's going to be almost exactly the same. I think. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Let's see the Hurricane Hunters. Let's take a look at what they found out there. There's a little, a little bit of center relocation, probably trying to figure out where it wants to be. Pressure holding on 1006. So, nope. Alan, it's 8 hours. 8 hours. All right, cool. Hey, the Grand Canyon guys over on YouTube, Stephanie. How's it going over there? Well, anyway, so we showed all the latest models. No big changes. Serious situation unfolding, unfortunately, before our eyes. And now's the time to prepare. Saturday night, we're going to start to see this inching in on the coastline. So you got basically tomorrow. And go get your gas now. All your supplies. I shared a really good link earlier today. And these are very important links on my site. Hurricane Plan and Prepare, right up the very top. Right there. So anything you need to know about if you got this hurricane coming, you just started, living in this area that we call home, determine your risks, evacuation plan, disasters, insurance. I mean, everything you need to know about what to do for a hurricane. And then I posted earlier today an NHC checklist here that you can go back and look at, but things that are good to have in a hurricane kit. Things like this, like a manual hand or a can opener. People don't think about that. Get your vehicle filled with gas. Medical supplies, at least 2 weeks supply, because if you stay and your local pharmacies aren't open, make sure you have medical supplies. 2 weeks. Cash, ATM machines don't work when you have power. And I had a little tidbit. Somebody told me quarters, because if you do go to a laundry mat that's open, laundry run on quarters. So a roll of quarters. Flashlight with batteries, phone and portable chargers, important documents, keep them safe. Battery-powered weather radio, we highly recommend those. We show them all the time. Get your phone lists ready. This is important. Doctor, insurance, electric, gas, water companies, family, friends, landlord, bank, and credit union. Have your phone numbers ready in case you need to call them. Fill your car with gas, emergency kit. Food and water, 1 gallon per person per day for 7 days. That's a lot of water, but that's a lot of water. But you can buy 5-gallon jugs of water. You can buy the jugs and fill them yourself. You don't have to buy water. You can buy 5-gallon blue jugs at Lowe's and take up less room. Non-electric can opener, cooler, first aid kit, pet supplies, sleeping bags and pillows, because you never know. You might have to go somewhere else. You might have to go evacuate or go to, somewhere else to sleep. Toolbox and rope, plastic sheeting and duct tape, work gloves, fire extinguisher, cleaning supplies, clothing, a whistle. That's something you don't think about. A whistle. Hey, if you get stranded and need help, right? Heaven forbid you get need help, whistle, very important, especially, I mean, I know you've seen videos of people trying to escape surge and they end up in their attics. You've seen videos where people actually knocked holes out of their attics to get on the roofs. I always wondered if a hammer might be important to have, because if you gotta escape out of your roof, I don't even know how I would do that. Kick it, I guess. There's a video from Katrina of a family that watched the water come in, and they had to go to the roof. It was terrible. Roof all the way up to the roofs. 2-story house, water to the roof. And there you go. So that's a good link on my site. All right, so we'll post the 11. There's really nothing new coming out other than Hurricane Hunter data. So if you're interested in anything like new, Hurricane Hunter data would probably be the only thing to keep an eye on. The new spaghetti models come out around 9:30 Eastern. So that'll be the next thing to post. Will be the 9 o'clock spaghetti models. And then the NHC advisory at 11 with a brand new cone. So, and I appreciate everybody putting some great links out there. That's awesome. Rachel Alexander, thank you. Travis says beer and toilet paper. Yeah, toilet paper's not on the list. What's up with that? Keep an axe in the attic. Jim, yeah, we need to change the we need to change this to we got to add beer and TP, toilet paper.
Sure, beer's not a hurricane supply.
Everybody agrees it's a hurricane supply. Yeah, Shelly, if you got... Hey, thank you, Lisa Reed. Thank you very much. Jay, where's it going? Well, so far, smack dab middle Louisiana has been the focus of most model runs, which means effects in the Mississippi, Alabama, possibly Florida Panhandle because of the east side. So don't focus on the center line, Mississippi, Alabama, and tip of Florida Peninsula or Panhandle. Baby wipes. Whiskey. No surge maps out, Dan Braun. The only map that's out, I do have linked on my site here. Look for CERA right here. That is the only real surge map out right now, and it's not official, but it goes by the NHC cone and gives you a general idea of where the surge could be. Based on current track and intensity. Sure will, Travis. What else? Can opener. Dogs are eating. And there's another link if you want. Know your area. Surge potential map right next to it. You can click on that if you want to know your area and get an idea. Worst case scenario, what you could see. Let's go to category 2. These are worst case scenario maps on a category 2 hurricane. This all depends on the angle of approach. We get an angle, we get a storm here. The farther out you go are very unlikely. So these are very tricky maps. It's if a storm had the perfect angle to create the worst case scenario, basically. So it's very confusing. If you look at the current NHC track, for example, let's just do that real quick. Let's zoom in here. and zoom in on the current track. So there's a current track. Let's just say between Baton Rouge and New Orleans. That's what the current track is. It'll change a little bit. It always does. So, you know, something like that, let's say. So a storm coming in like this, obviously surge, but this surge would be unlikely to be that high because it's on the west side. But this side, yes. So that's why you got to be careful looking at these maps. But as far as the current track with a Category 2 hurricane, you know, these are places that could technically be, you know, problem areas. You know, all the way up here, Interstate 10, Lake Pontchartrain area. So that's Category 2 storm surge. I mean, you know, I don't know the protocols up there with evacuations. But, you know, we could have some of these roads underwater. Category 3 definitely increases the coverage some. So you can play around with that. Remember, these are very tricky, But once we start seeing the surge warnings out from the NHC, then it gets real. DRC. Stephanie, the only thing stopping it would be time. It all depends if it gets developed right now. The next 12 hours, the faster it becomes developed, then the likelihood of a major is very high. So the only thing stopping it from becoming anything too big right now is time. So, all right, cool. Well, what's that? What's the EPIRBs? Jacob, not sure what that is, buddy. Yeah, hey, Greg, we drove through there on, it saw the same thing. But you know, it's important to note too, though. Listen, not all models are showing worst case scenario. That's important to note. You know, the CMC showing a little weaker, so we don't have 100% all in that this thing could be a major. You know, there's a CMC 985. That's definitely hurricane, but the Icon 18Z coming in at 981, 979. That's getting kind of close. Category 2 for sure. Category 2 would be in the 970 range. Now I lost which tab I got open. Oh geez, now we got to go through everything. I always do that. I got so many tabs open. Not bar tabs. Well, hey, tabs. I got bar tabs. Oh, there we go. Then I closed it like an idiot. Oh, no, there we go. All right, so, and then, of course, GFS a little stronger. 958. 958 would be Category 3 on the old Saffir-Simpson scale. So, you know, GFS definitely saying major. H-Wharf saying 955, 952, definitely major on the H-Wharf. This one's still trending a little bit west, but again, the H-Wharf track is never the best. Great on strength, bad on track. And then the Euro was actually, we got a new one we can look at, the 18Z. All right, everybody just yawned. Man, it's been a long day. All right, so the latest Latest Euro just came out. Let's take a look at that. This is the 18Z. Still running. Ah. Ugh. Ugh. So this latest 18Z Euro just came out. Oh shit! Oh, do I gotta pick Emily up? Oh crap! Thanks, Shelly. I forgot. The reason we're doing 7, I gotta pick Emily up at softball practice at 9. Thanks, Shelly. Were you gonna remind me, Julie? I forgot totally. I totally forgot. So anyway, there's the latest Euro. That one just came out, and it's showing unfortunately 967, 966. 966 technically could be category high end 2, low maybe 3. So that's right on par with the NHC showing 110 mile an hour. There you go. Sue, I got time. All right. Well, hey, we did an hour and 20. That's pretty good. I didn't know what to talk about. The nighttime ones are harder because it feels like we just did this at the morning. So the morning show has a lot of fresh data, man. We're going to have Hurricane Hunter data from all night long. We're going to have all these 00Z models. We'll have a bunch of spaghetti models. So definitely tomorrow's the day that we're going to know where it's going and how strong it's going to get. And then we'll hopefully everybody's prepared. I'm sure they're stressing out up north. I don't know evacuations when that happens, if they do, but I would think there's going to be evacuations coming soon. So, okay, we'll see you guys in the morning. Cheers. Have one for me. I'll have one for you. And we'll see.